Hi guys, so I just recorded my first channel blog when I had this revelation, this epiphany about life, and that was if I'm going to be making a video and I'm going to have Magic Online open, I should probably make a Magic Online video. I know, that's just, I really went deep on that one. So I have two pieces of good news and one piece of bad news for you. The first piece of good news, I'm enjoying a tasty beverage. This one happens to be a Sierra Nevada Flipside Red Ale. Let's see what there's notes of Flipside. It has I don't know, it tastes like beer. I actually really do like trying to taste things in wine and beer, but that's a different video. So that's the first piece of good news. The other piece of good news is we're playing Magic and we're going to play Mono Blue Tron. We're going to be piloting the exact list that Shoktroopa piloted to a 5-0 record in the Premier event. Good job, Shoktroopa. That's impressive. It's not the first time he's done it. It probably won't be the last. The last piece of bad news is I'm probably going to be really bad. I hardly play this deck, as awesome as I think that it is. So I cannot imagine that I'm going to put on a good showing, but I'm going to do my best. So let's do a quick deck tech. We're playing Urza Tron. So we have our Tron Lands here. We have the full set of those. We have 8 islands as Mono Blue Tron. And an Academy Ruins. Academy Ruins allows us to do some awesome tricks. It lets us buy back our Expedition map. And if you don't know what Academy Ruins is, I have it there on the screen. It allows us to buy back our Expedition map if we need it. We can get back an Oblivion Stone. But what it's really there for is, besides just value, is something called Mindslaver Lock. And I'll go ahead and explain what that is if you don't already know. So we have this awesome card here called Mindslaver. Now Mindslaver says that if you sack it, you can control the target player's next turn. How sweet is that? Especially if you play blue. I'm not going to counter your stuff. I'm just going to take your turn for you. You know, the first time I did it, I just felt so like drunk with power. Like I was playing against this weird pod list. It may have just been in a practice room, but I literally like bolted himself, sacked his bird, paid the life for it with this birthing pod. I may have even failed to find. I like played a shock land, and long story short, I just did everything and killed him with his own spells. I almost felt giddy. It was awesome. So anyway, so what you do is you sacrifice Mindslaver. That costs 4 mana. Then you spend a blue and a colorless to tap Academy Ruins and put Mindslaver back on the top of your library. So that costs 6 mana now. And I guess it has to be 12. Yeah, because basically what happens is you put it on top of your library, you take your next turn after you've already controlled their turn, and you draw Mindslaver. You pay 6 to put it out. You pay 4 to sack it, and then you pay 2 to put it on top of the library. So that's called Mindslaver locking somebody. They never get a chance to take their own turn, and in paper, usually most people will just concede, and online do that too, but sometimes they'll make you play it out. So what else does the deck have? It has a super awesome permission spell in Condescend. Lets us scry 2 in addition to you know, countering a spell if they can't pay for X, which once Tron is activated, they generally can't. It's very much a tempo-y deck. It's very much a tempo deck until it gets to its big spells. So we have Repeal, which allows us to bounce permanents. Also draws a card, which is fantastic. Remand, you guys are probably familiar with that if you've seen my other videos. Super awesome tempo card. Cyclonic Rift, which you do get to overload. And I feel like I only do that in Commander, so every time I overload Cyclonic Rift, it's just sweet. Talismans for mana fixing and a little ramp. This version is running to Snapcaster Mage. Obviously, they can buy back tons of things. Thirst for Knowledge is awesome. A lot of times, it's just pay 3 mana, instant speed, draw 2 cards because you can pitch something that you don't need. And even if you may need it later, if you have an Academy Ruins out, you can just get it back after you've pitched it. Solemn Simulacrum for acceleration, blocking, card draw. Solemn Simulacrum is the mayor of Value Town. Wurmcoil Engine is a super awesome spell. Platinum Angel, so that our opponents can't win. Sundering Titan for punishing greedy mana bases. Let's see. Spell Pierce will probably bring these in against combo decks, against other control decks. I guess Repeal if they have a lot of permanents. Pithing Needle. I wasn't sure what these were for. Anything that we don't want them to activate. Planeswalkers, I suppose. I guess we can name like Splinter Twin, something like that. Another Snapcaster Mage, some Squelches. These are primarily for like Tectonic Edge and Ghost Quarter. We can counter the activated ability of that spell to save our Tron Lands. Dismember for killing dudes. And then Bottle Gnomes. We'll probably bring that in any aggressive matchup, but you also, I guess, would bring it in against mono red. You can sack it, gain some life. And in an ideal world, you put it back on top of the library, replay it, sack it, block something, all that good stuff. All right, so that's a quick deck tech, and let's try to find a game. I'll see you soon.